Yo, what up, people? Welcome to my channel, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, guys. I really appreciate it, guys. You know what I'm saying? But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification button as well so you'll know when I put up a video. But welcome to my channel, guys. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning into this video. Everybody's in a uproar about Fat Joe and his comments, what he said on Math Hoffa's his Math Hoffa interview, and I just wanted to give my point of view on it. You know what I'm saying? Um, this situation has been going on for the past couple of weeks. You know, and I just want to give my touch on it. So Fat Joe, man, growing up in upstate New York, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know, now you know by now that I'm from Buffalo, New York, and in upstate New York, it's pretty much this almost a similar culture from New York City, pretty much similar as far as being fans of hip hop and all that. You know what I mean? I was a real big fan of Big Pun coming up, man. Like Big Pun, I feel like people don't give Big Pun the credit, as being a dope MC and being top five. You know what I'm saying? Dead or alive, Big Pun, and I think in the Latino community, it's still a struggle to get recognition. Like, you know what I'm saying? For what they have contributed to hip hop. You know, um, yes, hip hop was started by so-called black people. You know what I mean? But Latinos played a big part in growing hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here and be biased, man. I'm gonna speak from my mind of what I feel. And Latinos played a big part in hip hop, growing hip hop. Now, people are in, people are very upset. You know what I'm saying? And tight about what Joe said on Math Hoffa's interview. Calling people broke and FBA and I never heard of this FBA ever in my life. Foundational Black Americans. I guess it was started by Nasheed Tariq, and this is the first time I ever heard of it. You know what I'm saying? And they saying the FBA is a lineage, and the comments Joe made, you know, on Math Hoffa's show. Uh, I felt like he shouldn't have said it, man. At the end of the day, certain things you just don't say. I felt like Joe got overly comfortable and said some things he shouldn't have said. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's what's the saying that your grandparents used to say: if you don't have something to say nice, don't say nothing at all. I feel like that's what happened with Joe. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I a fan of Fat Joe? I bought a couple of his joints. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like with Big Pun. You know what I'm saying? I was a huge fan of Big Pun. Still to this day, man. Big Pun is the dopest, one of the dopest MCs that ever touched the mic. But in my personal opinion about Fat Joe, man, Fat Joe always been kind of like slippery, slimy, like you know what I'm saying. It's been a his man Cuban Links said a lot of things about Fat Joe for years that people just brushed off. You know what I'm saying? He been saying these things about Fat Joe for years and Cuban Links, and now that it's coming to fruition about Fat Joe, you know everybody's like, oh, Cuban Link is telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. My opinion on this is like some things you just don't say. Now, when it comes to using the N word, like I said, I stopped using that word many moons ago. Once I understood the history behind it, once I understood, and once I started getting knowledge of self, you know what I'm saying? Once you know better, you do better. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people are selective when they want to be angry at certain things. If you're gonna, this is my opinion about that word too as well. If you're gonna be mad at one person using that word, when are other people gonna stop using the word? You know what I'm saying? When are so-called black people are going to stop using that word, because I feel like if you're going to get mad at Fat Joe, you should get mad at the person next to you for using the N word. I don't think anybody should use that word. You know what I'm saying? And people are just selective when it comes to being angry about something. And not only that, the anger only lasts a couple weeks. I'm surprised this even went as long as it did. You know, the whole Fat Joe situation. But for years people have been hearing about Fat Joe, the dirty things he has done to people. Even Big Pun, his wife has been calling out Fat Joe. I forgot Big Pun's wife's name. Um, at one point in time, Big Pun's family was homeless, and Joe didn't do anything to help them. Like, um, like you've been hearing things about Fat Joe for a long time, and now it's like this, man. Like, what you put into the universe will come back to you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we're in the age to where people like Fat Joe, people like Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? These people who've been, like, I guess I hate the word gatekeeper because so many people use it, but these people who have been gatekeeping and having people's careers in their hands, and they fumble the ball. A prime example with Cuban Link. Fat Joe had his career in his hand, and Cuban Link has been saying a lot of things about Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying? That were sideways, kind of like grimy. And I think it's just like the universe coming to spank him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get your wake up call at some point. If you continue to treat the people the way you treat them and not do right by people, that's basically what this is about Fat Joe not doing right by people he should do right by, and plain and simple. And now that he made some comments which he thought that weren't bad to say, Math Hoffa, and I feel like Math Hoffa and those guys should have said something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should have said something. They should have checked them. But at the end of the day, man, when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to the culture of hip hop, Latinos played a big influence in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But they did not start hip hop, because, like Lord Jamar said, if Latinos and Jamaicans and all the other people from the Caribbean islands had any type of influence in hip hop, where's their influence at? Where's the Jamaican influence? Where's the Latino influence? You know what I'm saying? In hip hop, all these people who came into hip hop, you know what I'm saying, were influenced by so-called Black Americans. Their influences come by so-called Black Americans, and hip hop started off, you know what I'm saying, in the Bronx, and some people say it started way before the Bronx. You know what I'm saying, the origins of it. But a lot of the hip hop came from us playing, using the sounds of our parents at that time. You know what I'm saying? The James Browns and the you know what I'm saying, all the soul music that was played at the time. That's how hip hop started. You know what I mean? And you know there weren't, and when it started, to my knowledge of what I hear of the people who were around at that time, there weren't nobody else doing hip hop in the beginning, but um, so-called black people. But Latinos did play a big part in hip hop, and Lord Jamal gave it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? He gave it up, and he said Latinos played a big part in hip hop, but they did not start hip hop, and that's where I think that a lot of anger is coming from. But um, at the end of the day, as a group of people, we really don't get the credit of the things that we brung to society. You know what I'm saying? All the things that you use in your home, a lot of those things were created by so-called black people. You know what I'm saying? That we don't get credit for. A lot of things that people use on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? We never really get the credit. That's where I think the bigger issue is coming from. We don't get the credit for the things that we recreated and continue to create, and we still don't get the credit. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like when we create, somebody wants to take. And, you know, I mean, that's the way I see it, man. We deserve to get credit for things that we create. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Fat Joe and him saying the N word and all that, um, I think that if you're gonna get mad at him using the word, then you have to get mad at so-called black people using the word. This person you gotta get mad at everybody. You just can't um point out one person or this person from using the word. Stop using the word period, man. That's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Uh Floyd Mayweather is another one who stopped using the word. Like, when you know better, you do better. And stop using the word period. I think everybody shouldn't use. To me, the word is outdated anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you still using that word, I mean, I think you're kind of lame in my opinion. If you still using that word, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's really using that word all like that in 2025, man. And does Fat Joe go overboard using words? Sometimes, yeah. Like, every word that come out of his mouth is just like, And my thing is just like, you can't go to any culture of people and use racial slurs around them. And, you know, uh, it has to be the same way with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to get mad at Fat Joe, get mad at everybody for using the word. I don't think nobody should use the word. But, at the end of the day, man, like, I feel like Fat Joe has always been like a kind of like a grimy dude and a liar. You know what I'm saying? He's been a liar. Like, a lot of those rappers and entertainers, they lie to make their image look tougher, to make them seem like they're more wealthy than they really are. You know what I'm saying? He calling people broke and all that. You know, it's just like, were you born rich, Fat Joe? You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, you grew up in the Bronx, poor. And just, that too. People get money, and then they change and they turn into something else. And you know what I'm saying? They forget where they come from, and they want to call people broke and all this stuff. And it's just messed up, man. But Fat Joe, man, at the end of the day, just like Puffy, and all these other people in the entertainment industry, you know what I'm saying? Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? They getting their wake up call, man. All the grimy, dirty stuff they've done to people. I mean, that karma is coming back. That's all the way I see it. But yo, that's my take on this, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's just karma, man. What you put into the universe is gonna come back to you, and that's it, man. It's just karma. But yo, that's my take on this, guys. Yo, I'm out. If you haven't did so yet, please subscribe. Please leave your comments and hit that notification button. You heard? Please.